Okay, guys, so right now we just worked on creating of blogs, in instance, whereby before you can create a blog, you must be logged in, right? So right now it's time for us to work on listing out this blog post, you understand? So let's want to list them out, want to see the blogs that has been created, you understand? So, okay, and over here, over here you can see we have the on this page now, we have the listed blogs, we have them, you understand? So right now I want to work on listing out this blog post. So we're going to create a new function, and I'll just simply just say def. I'm going to say blog lists, blog underscore lists, and they're going to have the passing the requests. And right now we're going to simply list out all our blogs. So say blog should be equal to blogs dot objects dot all. Right, so let's import blog. That should be from that should be coming from our models.py file. Up here I'll just say from, okay, I know what to do. Okay, let's say from dot models import blog. Yeah, so we've got that imported, and over here we're going to say blog dot object. We're going to list out the old blogs, and then we'll say serializer should be equal to blog serializer, and then we're going to pass in those blogs inside. We're going to pass in the blogs, and we're going to say many should be equal to true. That's because we are likely to have more than one blog, you understand? So many should be equal to true, and then we're going to return a response. Say return response, and we're going to say serializer dot data. Right, so we've got this already. So what do we do next? Let's create a URL for the view. So over here, I'll just copy that function name. Then over here, I'll say paths. And I'll say views.blog lists. And the name should be equal to views.blog list, right? So we've got this already. So here's our blog. So after we've done this now, we have to make this a REST function by adding this decorator. So paste it here, and this view is only going to support the get requests. So yeah, we've got that already, and let's hope it works without any errors. So I have to I'm going to open so let's run server. So I'll say Python manage.py run server. Okay, our server is up and running. So as usual, we can go over to Postman. Right, so we don't have to use Postman for this because because right now we are not trying to create a new blog. We are trying to list out the blogs we have. You can simply use your browser, go down to your browser, you just go down to 127 port 8000, and then you say blog underscore lists. Hit enter. And right here we have all our blogs, and currently we only have 2 blogs in our database, right? So we've been able to list out the blogs you get. So now right now we are done with listing out the blogs. So what's next? Let's work next on updating a specific blog, on updating a particular blog. We're going to work on that next. Okay, so guys, time for us to work on updating a specific blog. So once you update a blog, right? So and this is how it works. Before you can update a blog, you must be logged in. And an author can only update his own blog. You can't go ahead to update. You can't update someone else's blog. You can only update the blog you wrote by yourself, right? So right now, let's create the function. I'm gonna say def. I'm gonna say updates underscore blog, and then we're gonna have the request. So once we've got that already, what's the next thing? So this is gonna be, I'm gonna copy these 2 decorators. So first of all, we have the API view decorator, and we also have the permission classes. That's so right now I just want to say that this view it is a protected view. You have to be logged in before you can access the view, right? So right now I'm going to get the logged in user. Now so user should be equal to request dot user, right? So we are trying to update a particular blog, right? And right here I'm going to pass the blog's primary key. I'll say pk, and over here I'll say blog should be equal to blog dot objects dot get id equal to pk. Right, I've done that already. So once this is done, what's the next step? So we're going to check now if blog.author, if the blog's author is not equal to the logged in user, we are going to simply return a response. We're going to say return response. Right now, say error. And I'm going to say you are not the author of this blog. You are not the author of this blog. We're going to return a status. We're going to say we're going to return a status code, and that's going to be 403. We're going to say status should be equal to status dot http underscore 403 underscore forbidden. So what's happening here is this now. So if you can update a blog, you must be the author. You can't just go ahead to update someone else's blog, right? So if this condition fails, if this condition is true, we're going to return this response. I understand. So, but if it is not true, so we're going to then say serializer should be equal to block serializer. And then we're going to simply pass in the blog we want to update this blog, right? So pass it in, right? And then I'm going to say data should be equal to requests dot data. Remember I told you that this request of data is an object, and it is an object containing these are the fields here, these fields, right? These fields and their values, right? So that's what that request or data is. So then I'm going to check if the serializer is valid. We're going to say if serializer dot is valid, right? So I'm going to then say serializer dot save, or see if this is not valid, and then I'm going to return a response. I'm going to say return response, and say serializer.data. But if there is any problem, I'm going to return a different response. You can just copy that response from here to save time. Copy this response and paste in here. So now we've got that already. That's fine. So what are we going to do next? We have to simply create the URL for this view. So we're going to open the URL file. Let's open that to the side. Yeah. So we are here now. So I'm going to call this, we'll simply say update blog, right? And right now we are going to be expecting the primary key. I'm going to just say int, and then I'll say pk, right? And then I'll just simply pass in, I'm going to say views dot what? Update blog, updates, Ctrl C. And then if I come over here and say name should be equal to view, I'm going to say update blog, right? So we've got that already. So right now it's time for us to test this to see if it is working. So right now let's see how far we've gone. Let's try and test this to see if it's working. So as usual, first thing first, you have to get logged in. So I told you that for example, let's go down to our database right away. I'm going to go down to the back end. Say 127. I'm going to be ports. So go down to the admin. Gain access. Okay, login. Come on, come on, come on. Let's see if our server is running. Okay, our server is up. So now, right now we only have two blogs, right? So I'm gonna for React for the first blog, which is called React for Beginners. You can see right there the author is Daniel. Daniel is the author, right? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna simply log in as Clint and I'll try updating this blog that was written by Daniel. So I'm gonna try that right now. I'm going to log in as Clint now. So you know how we do it, right? So I'm gonna go down to Postman. So we're gonna open a new request. So let's go on, come on. So to log in, we have to go down to 127. So you're gonna use to log in, you have to come down to the token endpoint, and then you click on body, you click on form data, and once you've done that, now you have to input your username and password. The username is called Dan. Username is okay. Right now, I am going to log in as Clint. Username is called Clint, and the password is 1234. That's for Clint. So we are trying to update Dan's article. So right now, once you've done this now, make sure it is a post request, and then click the send button. Click the send button. So let's get our I want to get our access key, and so right now I'm trying to get our access key. The request is currently sending. Yep, so it says 200 OK. So right now, here's our access key. Perfect. So we've gotten our access key. So now, what's the next step? So we're going to open a new request. So right now, we want to update the blog. And right now, Clinton is trying to update someone else's blog. Right? So over here, we're going to say 127. So come back here again, back to our code. I remembered something. This is meant to be a puts request, not posts. Whenever you're trying to update something, what you're meant to use is a put request, not post. Post is meant for creating something new, but put is meant for updating something that already exists, right? So I'm gonna just say puts, right? So that's that. So I forgot that's very important. So right now, the URL for this view is currently. So right now the URL is called update blog, and you are meant to pass in the primary key of the blog. You're meant to pass in the blog's primary key, right? And remember, whenever you're trying to make a post or a put request, it's always advised you put in the trailing forward slash. You have to put in this last forward slash is always important. So we know we've gotten our endpoint. So back to our code. So back to this tab. Yep. So what are we doing? So we're gonna say 127. So it's called update blog, updates underscore blog. We're going to pass in the blog's primary key. So over here, the primary key of this blog is 2. From what we have up in the URL, it is 2. So back to VS Code, we're going to pass into forward slash. This is meant to be a put request. So right now, we want to update the blog's title and also the body and also the contents, right? Let's update the title and the content. So it's simple. Back here, click on body, click on form data, and then I'm gonna just say title should be, let's just say React Masterclass. React Masterclass. And the body, you're gonna say content. They're gonna simply say I love React.js. So remember, I told you that if you try submitting this now, it's gonna ask for what's it? It's gonna ask for a logged in user. So right now I'm gonna try submitting it like that. Let's see. Send. So you can see now it says unauthorized. You are meant to be logged in. You can see it's asking for your authentication credentials. It says that they were not provided. So let's provide it. Right now, we are trying to provide the wrong credentials. Remember, Daniel wrote this blog, and currently we are logged in as Clinton. So if I copy this guy, this access token, copy it back here, we'll simply just say, we'll click on headers, and then we'll say authorization, and we're going to pass in the token over here. Remember, you have to pass in the bearer and then space and then paste in your access token. So we've got that already. So if I try right now, I'm trying to update this blog post using the wrong user. So click on send. Right now it says 403 forbidden. If you scroll up, it says you are not the author of this blog, right? So cleansing is not the author of this blog. So we are going to log in as Daniel right away. So over here, I'll come over here and put in Daniel. I think it's Dan. And the password is Baka 100. And then click on send. So right now we've gotten the right access key, the access token, the right one. Copy it and then back to this tab. So over to the headers, we have to replace what we have here. We have to using the right access key. And then we've got that already, and now we're trying to update this blog. You can see right now the title is saying React for beginners, and the body is also saying React for beginners. So right now we're trying to update it to what we have here. Right, so let's try that now. Click on send, and let's see. Oh, it says 400 bad requests. It says the content field is required. Oh, sorry, contents. I spelled it wrongly. It's meant to be a small c. It's meant to be a small c, right? So that was a mistake I made. So let's cross-check this again to be sure. So, okay, the title is required. What else? The contents and all other things are all automatic or automated, right? So, yep. So now let's try again. So it's meant to be a small c. If you check over here from the models, it is a small c. From the serializers, it is a small c, right? So back here, send. Right now it says 200 okay, right? So now we have, so now over here you can see we have the title updated. We also have, where's the body? We have the body updated. So back to our Django admin. If I refresh this page now, you're going to see React Masterclass, and over here you're going to see I love React.js. So let's just refresh. You can see now it has worked. It has been updated now, so it's working fine. So what's next now? So the next thing I'm going to work on is deleting. I'm going to show you how to delete a particular blog. So we're working on that next. Okay guys, so right now we just finished working on updating a particular blog. So what next? Let's work on deleting a blog. It's very easy. Back to our views. Back here again. Just come over here. I'll copy these two decorators, copy them. And now once it's copied, now we're going to create a new function. I'm going to say delete blog, delete underscore blog. Right, so this is going to be a post request. Then I'm going to pass in the requests and the blog's PK, right, the primary key. So we're going to get the blog. We're going to say blog should be equal to blog.objects .get ID equal to PK, and then we're going to simply say we're going to check the log. We're going to make sure that the user deleting the blog is the owner of the blog. We're going to say that should be equal to request.user, and we'll check if we're going to check if blog.author is not equal to the user. Then we're going to return a response that says, let me just copy the same response we have here, the same thing. Hey, Ctrl Z, Ctrl C, copy. Then paste that here. So you can only delete the blog you wrote. You can't come up here and delete someone else's blog. You get? So if the blog author is not the logged in user, so you're going to return this response. Else, we are going to delete the blog. I'm going to say blog dot delete, right? And then we're going to return a response. Let's say return response. And you'll just put in the, I'm going to just say, I'll just say, I'm thinking now. We're going to return a message that says, just say blog deleted successfully. And then we're going to return a status that is equal to status dot http underscore 204 no content, right? So that's it. So we're cutting our blog view done. So what's next now? Let's create a view, a URL for this blog, let's create a URL for this delete blog function. So over here, passing the paths. They're going to pass in the primary key. And remember, we're also passing the trailing slash there. And we'll simply just say views dot delete blog, and the name should be equal to delete blog also. Yes, so we've got this already. We've got it set. So it's simple. We're going to try the same thing again. I'm going to just quickly, I think I need to quickly create a new blog. Let's just create a new blog now. Come over here and just say create blog. Create underscore blog. So I just really hope that, what's it called? Our headers, the access key is still valid. Let's hope so. So I'm going to create a new blog. I'll just say Next.js 15 crash course. The content should be, I just say I love coding. That's the content. As for the featured image, let's add an image. So I'm trying to create a blog that we can delete. And then I'll select a file here. Just pick any random image there. Okay, that's fine. Let's just say is draft should be equal to let's say is draft underscore draft should be equal to false. So let's send. So right now just add a new blog created. That's fine now. So right now we want to delete this blog. We want to delete the blog. And it's only Dan that can delete this blog. Only Dan can do that. Clinton cannot come. Why do I say so? That's because Dan is the owner of the blog. Understand? So Clinton cannot come over here to delete Dan's blog. It's not possible. Right? So if we try, so right now I'm going to just say delete blog. Delete blog. We're going to pass in the primary key. Pass that here. So I'm going to try logging in as Clinton now. Back here, I'll just say Clint, and the password is 1234. Send. So we got our access key. This is Clinton's access key. So Clinton is trying to delete Dan's block, and that's not going to work because he's not the owner, right? So replace this access key we have there. Paste this one. So back to the body. If I click on send, return it right now. We're having an error. It says server error. I think it's because I forgot to add the forward slash here. Instead, I think that's one of the reasons. If I check, right, let me just check my code to see what the error message is. Let's run the server again. Run server. So I think it's because I did not add this forward slash behind. So our URL is called delete blog, and then passing the primary key. So it should work. I'm gonna try it again. So our server is up again, right? So back here, the person puts in the forward slash there, and then okay, what are we gonna do now? We're trying to create. So now we're trying to delete this blog. We're trying to delete it, right? We don't even need to pass. We don't even need to pass any of this. We don't need to pass any of these fields because we are trying to delete. I just realized that now. I'll clear them off. You don't need to pass any of them. So click on send. Right now it says forward to right now through an error. It says you're not the author of this blog. That's because you are currently logged in as Clinton, and Daniel is the owner of the blog. So only Daniel can delete this blog. You understand? So that's why we're having this error message. So we are good now.